It's time now to begin today's program with the latest headlines. Joining us now is Ibrahim with today's top stories from here in the UK and around the world. Good morning, Ibrahim.
Good morning. Salaam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, lots of things happening around the world, and the social media, I can say, exploding by videos and news. Some of them are striking, to be honest, and some of them on different topics. But today we're going to start talking about the first story, and it's about the UK, or the one UK mosque attacked every 5 days, says British Muslim Trust. That sounds really horrible.
Right. I mentioned it last week in the light of the rising anti-Muslim hatred across the country. According to the British Muslim Trust, the areas that are the most affected is Greater Manchester, London and the West Midlands. So pretty much the areas of the country where there are the most Muslims. And this is a cause for concern for a lot of Muslims across the country, and they turn to the British government to see how do we actually tackle this on a systemic level, because this isn't one-off attacks, it's systemic. You know, one mosque attacked in every 5 days. That's an incredible figure. And we need to genuinely tackle anti-Muslim hatred. We've also seen within the last 12 months there actually be an increase in the level of Muslim hatred. So it's not that the figure's just high generally. It's definitely on a incline. And how do we tackle that? And it's not a coincidence that a lot of this is also happening in the climate of United Kingdom protests, where anti-Muslim hatred and other forms of discrimination are becoming more commonplace in British society. We also saw in Belfast the riots, which attacked disproportionately Muslim communities, but other ethnic minority and religious communities as well. We saw in Glasgow the same occur as well for the Scottish Muslim communities as well. So it feels like for a lot of people, the Muslim communities are constantly under attack. And how do we genuinely stop this situation?
That sounds really sad, actually. In Britain, we say in the UK, it's the country of rich cultures. It's the diversification of cultures and religious background that make the UK the UK. But seeing this is really sad. But my question here, and I'm sure many people have this question also, are existing measures doing enough to protect our mosques, to protect our community centre at all in the UK?
I mean, it feels for a lot of people this is of course not the case, and protection comes not just in the physical form of protection of Muslim communities and Muslim mosques, but also the protection of the Muslim image. We know from the Centre for Media Monitoring, organizations have been depicting Muslims in a negative light, and that does contribute to a climate of anti-Muslim hatred. People are hearing that Muslim communities seek to be separate from the rest of British society, and as a result that is supposedly legitimizing a lot of this hatred. But the reality is a lot of Muslims do want to be integrated in British society, are integrated in British society, contribute to British society. We talked last week about figures like Khadija Patel, who she's a Niqabi woman that managed to win recognition for her work for the community. So we have several figures.
And I'm sure many Muslims have greatly contributed to this country as well.
Absolutely. Economically, socially, culturally, we've helped throughout different sectors of society, but yet it is being depicted as if we are leeches of society. And it's very much reminiscent for a lot of people, and this might sound provocative, but it is reminiscent for a lot of people to the 1930s, in the way Jewish and other minority communities were depicted by Nazi Germany, because this same level of propaganda does legitimize pogroms, does legitimize ethnic cleansing. And the situation, for example, in Northern Ireland was by many organizations described as a pogrom, described as ethnic cleansing, and that only happens within the climate of increased racial hatred and religious hatred.
Right, so beyond security funding, what more can be done by the community, by people who want to help, to address the root cause of this hatred hate crimes, Islamophobia? Because all of these are under the umbrella of Islamophobia, isn't it?
Right, and a lot of people might think in order to genuinely solve these issues, you need to engage with the Muslim community, engage with, organizations, national organizations like the Muslim Council of Britain, but also individual mosques, individual charities, individual households. We need to have, genuine, secure protection. Another dimension to this is also addressing the general concerns of society, because a lot of why, Muslim hatred is rising and racism is rising generally is because a lot of people are dissatisfied with the current situation that they are facing in their own households. The fact that they can't afford energy bills, the fact that they can't afford to put food on their table. And as a result, they are turning to another a community and blaming them for their issues. They are othering another community in order to rationalize to themselves why they can't afford the basics. So the government also need to help people afford the basics. If people are, experiencing a degree of prosperity, it will also reduce the level of resentment against other ethnic minority and Muslim communities.
Right. Thank you, Ibrahim, for those insights. We move on now to our second story. Young people expected to engage with new work support, says McFadden. So what's about that?
Right, so McFadden, the Minister for the Department of Work and Pensions, he has released this policy which would essentially, if you get into an apprenticeship as a teenager, your parents could receive £4,500 in order to make up for the lost benefits. Because currently, if you are a teenager that goes into work, your parents could lose benefits that they currently have, even though you don't necessarily get a lot from the apprenticeship.
Right.
And this is to fulfill a hole in the current system. But a lot of people are questioning, is this sufficient? Are these sufficient measures to incentivize people to consider other avenues? Because we know overall the government have been trying to alleviate some harsh conditions that a lot of people are facing. The bus caps to £2, which currently is around £3. The energy saving for £45 per household. But a lot of people are really questioning, is this enough in order to address the systemic issues in this country? Is it enough to bridge the equality gap? Is it enough to really create a society where people have purchasing power? But regardless, it's also raising a lot of questions about why people would consider apprenticeships. Absolutely, people should, but people should also consider apprenticeships with a thriving education system. At the moment, we know education fees are around 9.7k. For a lot of people, it's unaffordable. So we don't want people to be in a situation where they're going into apprenticeships, not because they want to go into apprenticeships, but because they simply can't afford education. We need two systems that are thriving, both the apprenticeship route, the vocational route, and the educational route. So that way people can actually consider what is best for them, rather than just going into one for convenience sake. And this £4,500 might actually just mean that more people get into it for convenience sake, rather than actually wanting to be skilled in a certain craft. Because apprenticeships are so broad at the moment, and so beneficial for a lot of people, but we don't want people going into it for the wrong reasons.
Because they are forced to.
Because they are forced to. We want both the education system and the vocational system to be thriving and to be heavily incentivized to get into. We shouldn't just increase the incentives for apprenticeships. We should also increase the incentives for education. In the same way that in the past there used to be a maintenance grant. Perhaps in a response to introducing this for apprenticeships, we introduce a maintenance grant for education.
No.
And that way people have equal incentive to go into either industry, and it is their choice, it's their prerogative, rather than down to their social conditions. Because otherwise it feels quite Victorian. Because we saw the other day Starmer announcing that year 10, so 14-year-olds, will be incentivized and allowed to take up a vocation such as manufacturing or AI, which is absolutely important. But it shouldn't be done because we believe certain jobs are for working class people and certain jobs are for middle class people. It should be done because people want to go into those industries.
This is one angle, Ibrahim, of how to see it. But there is maybe another angle where to see the apprenticeship is actually a long-term solution for what the AI is going to take or take over as future and existing kind of jobs. Because AI, as Andy Burnham is doing lots of videos on social media, he's really engaged on social media, and he actually explained part of it, that actually you can't find AI a tool to fix with tools to fix some stuff on the ships or on the planes. You still need people to have these skills, and they are very well paid. The people on the platforms, people on these big industries.
Absolutely.
So we need that. And I think in this country where you have something breaking down in your house, say for example your sink or anything else, you pay a lot of money sometimes to find someone who has the right skills to come to your house and then fix these things. So I think we need that.
We absolutely do need it, and that's why a lot of people are supporting the measures that are making vocation much easier. What people are concerned about is that we are perhaps neglecting education for the poorer communities in this country, and the richer communities will still get that, higher education if they wish. Regardless, both routes are respectable, but both routes should be heavily incentivized to go into, and it should be individuals deciding what's best for them. But what's happening at the moment is we are increasing incentives massively for vocational courses, but not doing the same for education. In fact, we're making education more and more prestigious. We know that according to current fee systems, some universities, such as LSE, Cambridge, Oxford, Imperial, will likely be able to increase their tuition fees slightly higher than other universities in line with inflation. So if we are pricing a lot of our working class and lower middle class communities out of education, then we aren't truly incentivizing them to go into one industry. We are restricting them to that one form of education, because a lot of people might be best suited for higher education and a lot of other people might be best suited for vocational education. And we need to ensure that people get what's best suited for them rather than what they can afford.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Ibrahim, for that explanation. And we move on to our third story of today. AI tool will lead to more child refugees being treated as adults, charity warns. So, tell us more about that story, Ibrahim, please.
So talking about AI, when actually entering the UK, they are going to be using this technology in order to decipher how old someone is. But the problem is, and the Helen Banbury Foundation and a lot of other organizations have raised profound concerns, because a lot of black and brown people coming into these countries are already identified as much older than they are. Children are identified as adults. And
this is without the AI tool?
Without the AI tool, there's this issue. But we know AI tools have a difficulty with black and brown communities, and also they look at a certain metric in order to decipher how old you are. We know age is a much difficult thing to decipher. You can't just use an AI tool. You need to speak to someone for that, to decipher that, because we know malnutrition, we know war, we know famine, we know torture, we know even the journey coming to the UK
can
all
completely
ages
transform the human body, the human face, and the health condition and everything.
Yeah, and they look much older than they are.
True.
And if they are treated as an adult in the migrant system, it raises profound concerns, because we know currently a lot of the policies are allowing detention and deportation, also just housing these children in a space with adults only, and they're lone children. It raises a lot of deep concerns for a lot of people, because they could, suffer abuse in a place just surrounded by adults. So we need to have the right provisions in place for children. And if we are already making these errors as humans, AI is more prone to making these errors, because they are looking for certain criteria in order to decipher who's a child and who's not.
So what's the solution then, with this AI in place? What safeguards need to be in place, and how can we tackle this issue to have the ability to identify the approximate real age of these children?
I mean, a lot of people are arguing AI is not best fit for purpose in this case at all. So we need to go back to human screenings. We need to, genuinely take time to realize how old people are, because certain things do need to be streamlined. For example, the process in, processing asylum seekers, making a decision whether they can stay in the country or not, giving them the right to work much earlier on. These things do need to be fast-tracked. But when it comes to age, very, very sensitive matters, we need to take our time. We can't just rush into deciding someone's age, because then someone might pretend to be a child if they have a very young looking face, and then other people, as raised black and brown communities who've experienced the very worst of conditions, they may very well be in a situation where they are not given that child status and therefore put in very vulnerable positions. So a lot of people have raised concerns, as I mentioned, charities like the Helen Banbury Foundation and the Humans for Rights Network have already said if these issues are already happening, it could be perhaps amplified under this new regime. We know that it also allows a lack of accountability, because if children are put into a wrong system currently, we can hold officials accountable for actually making these human errors. But if it happens under AI, they can just defer the accountability to AI. Exactly. And it causes a lot of issues, because we know AI is not perfectly, we don't have a proper regulation regime for AI either. So how do we ensure that it's not just accidental mistakes, but it's deliberate racial discrimination? We know AI has made mistakes in that regard before. So it is a concern for a lot of people. And the real question is not how do we deal with it during an AI regime, but how do we effectively deal with this without AI?
Yeah, so with the charities raising concerns, people talking about it, reporting it, do you think there is any response, any positive response? Did they hear what these charities and people are saying?
It's worth remembering the current Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, who's in charge of this. She, said that she dreams of a panopticon, which is a heavily surveillanced society. She wants migrants to be housed in former military bases, which is already inappropriate conditions. They want to close all hotels by 2029, but not because they want to process people quicker, but they want to, have staunch anti-migrant policies. So knowing that backdrop and that context, a lot of people aren't, the most optimistic that there will be a sufficient response from the Home Office or the government at large.
Well, it's worth knowing about this issue indeed. And we move on to our next story now. So Student Hall is first to allow only halal food. Well, that's interesting.
It's not just halal food, it's actually a halal environment. So you're not allowed pork, you're only allowed halal food, you have to have segregation. If you are to have an overnight guest, you need approval. So there's a lot of things that are provided within this accommodation. Fundamentally, non-Muslims are also allowed to stay here, but they have to follow the rules. And it's also important to recognize that this place in Dundee, so this halal student accommodation, is not one of a kind. There are Jewish accommodations in this country, there are Christian accommodations in this country that all follow the religious requirements. For example, the Jewish accommodation, you need a kosher kitchen, you need to follow the Shabbat rules, which requires no use of technology in public spaces or in the communal spaces. So these things do exist for other religious communities. It's not exclusive to Muslims, and it doesn't represent a breakaway either, because a lot of non-Muslims are allowed to come. It's just allowing an alcohol-free environment and a halal food environment for Muslims that wish to be in that environment.
Do you think people responded positively to this example?
Right. So a Reform member of Scottish Parliament criticised it, and a lot of members of the right have used this to justify further violence against Muslim communities. We mentioned at the start, one mosque attacked in every 5 days. And a lot of these anti-Muslim hatred comes from, the perception that a lot of Muslims are trying to break away. We've seen, talks on this, we've talks on Sharia courts, talks on things that are totally brought out of context by other communities. But rather than backing down and rather than, totally giving up on an idea like this, Muslim communities just need to bring this into context. The owner of this Dundee student accommodation has brought this into context and has said non-Muslims absolutely can stay here. There are just certain regulations to abide by, and this isn't exclusive to the Muslim community. Other student accommodations that based on religion also exist.
And I think it's worth doing these conversations with people from other communities, because I'm sure when you don't know something very well, when you don't know what the Muslim community is about or what Islam is about, and then you hear some false information or someone from the far right falsely feeding you some wrong information, of course you will have these doubts in your head, and then maybe these thoughts will transform to emotions, then to hatred, then to crime, and then to all these problems. So maybe the Muslim community needs to work more on engaging and doing more conversations, being open more to the non-Muslim community from different backgrounds and religions to explain what the culture is, what the religion is about. And I think always it starts by the communication and the conversations.
It does, but also it's worth noting that mainstream media, as mentioned earlier by the Center for Media Monitoring, has inadvertently or in some cases intentionally depicted Muslim communities as in a negative light.
Yeah,
so
but
fighting
what
against
the Muslim community has done, have we done enough to counter that narrative? The negative narrative is going to be there anyway.
Absolutely.
And anywhere, it's an international problem.
Yeah,
for
sure.
And we've seen the examples around the world and from history when a community has been targeted, crimes been committed, and problems and Holocaust and stuff. So, so the conversations need to be always there. Well, we don't have much time, Ibrahim, so we're gonna finish with this story now. A study suggests halving human population could benefit the Earth.
Right, so researchers have found that within 200 years,
what are they planning to do? That's the question.
Yeah, so rather than, and this was actually in the article compared to Thanos trying to wipe out half of human existence. But the reality is researchers have proposed that if we, over the next 200 years, try to reduce the human population to 4 billion people, then we would have much more resources, we'll have less of an impact on the environment. But of course it raises a serious concern. Would that actually benefit anything? Because we know for a fact in the past, when there was a much lower population, inequality still existed. Negative environmental impacts still existed. The Industrial Revolution happened prior to the population boom, and it had the most negative impact on the human population. And we know at the moment, the housing crisis isn't just created because of a lack of housing, but also because of the hoarding of wealth. So do people stop hoarding wealth if there's a lack of, less population? I don't know. Also, if there's more people, it doesn't that mean that less people, we might have an aging population. We need young people in this country and across the world to actually contribute to the economy and so that old people are able to retire. Otherwise, the retirement age will be constantly pushed back because there'll be less humans on this earth. We know, for example, with pension funds, you need active members and then you also need retired members in order for the pension fund to operate sustainably. So in order to have a sustainable society, we need a good mixture of young people and old people. We also need a healthy system that doesn't allow the hoarding of wealth. And we also need to ensure that projects like the Industrial Revolution do not destroy the environment, because we don't have an Industrial Revolution anymore. But if there's a new Industrial Revolution with all these data centers, then we do need to ensure that that doesn't happen, and rather than reducing the human population, because that's an unsustainable way to do things. And how do we do that? Because we know that China tried to do that with their own population with the one-child policy, and it meant that a lot of people were really it had a real severe impact on their society. And That's why the policy was ultimately abolished and campaigned against by human rights groups. So it makes no sense for us to, have a sort of state-mandated policy. And if we don't have a state-mandated policy, then how do we incentivize people to have less children? And is incentivizing people to have less children even the right way to go about things? Because as mentioned, we need a healthy balance between young and old people in order for society to effectively operate.
True, Ibrahim. And the other thing is, do you think this is like the question to reduce pressure on the natural resources, or is it like this study is just demonstrates the failure in many systems in lots of countries, the failure of education, the failure of raising awareness about how to treat our natural resources, how to not being greedy, and how to serve the earth and with fairness. Because if you come back to our Islamic traditions and educations, we have all that. But actually, are we applying? Are we doing that? Like, even I'm talking even us Muslims. There are so many things that we overlook, and we believe that it's less important than prayer and fasting. But actually, everything that the Prophet ﷺ told us to respect everything on earth, the trees, the animals, and even you will have a reward if you feed an animal, and you have a reward if you do this, you do that, and all of that in the realm of protecting the natural resources and
we're
environment.
not doing enough.
So the main issue is actually the failure of governments there to teach and to make a solid system for their populations to protect the environment.
Is a passive word,
I think they go into the fast track solution, which is absolutely, I don't see who has the right to halve the population, who has the right to do that.
Absolutely. And failure is a passive word. It implies that the government doesn't know what they're doing. The reality is there's like one rule for a lot of people, and then one rule for them and one rule for the rest, as the saying goes. For example, Elon Musk is constantly on Twitter criticizing a lot of people for having an incredible amount of children, but then he himself has a lot of children, and it then goes against that narrative that you need to have less children in order to have an effective society. We also know that one of the worst ways that have been destroying the environment is war.
Exactly.
And war destroys the environment, destroys the ecosystem, destroys cultural heritage. That in itself is an issue. So if we have less war, and war ironically also decreases the population. So if we have less war and we actually focus on thriving populations, then we probably will end up in a better situation in terms of the environment. It also leads to, a lot of general concerns of, are we doing enough to tackle the climate crisis? We are seeing the wildfires in Spain, in France, in Turkey, and that's happening because of corporate greed a lot of the time. Oil companies are able to spill a lot of oil into water. Exactly, and the AI data centers displacing a lot of people. We are, having an AI-centric world rather than focusing on the natural ecosystem. And a lot of people, because there haven't been, genuine investments in the environment, we are seeing the destruction of our planet. And, we've been convinced that if we use paper straws or, a paper bag will somehow save the environment, but the reality is it comes down to a corporate level. And the same thing, talking about, a population change won't save our planet, the same goes for, it's the same logic, because, it's corporate greed that has led to the hoarding of wealth and the destruction of the planet, and we need to really tackle that instead.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Ibrahim, to cover all of these stories. And thank you, our viewers. This is the end of the first segment of the show. Stay there, stay tuned, because we're going to come back, inshallah, after this short break. See you then.
Start your day right with the UK's first Muslim morning show, Salaam Britain,
where we dive into the trending stories that matter to you.
Share recipes from around the globe that will ignite your senses.
Celebrate guests that are making waves.
And showcase the diversity that makes our Ummah beautiful.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm keen to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well. Hold it.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps. With original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
Your opportunity to challenge the status quo. You call in and set the narrative. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Islam Channel. Islam Channel. Join us to discuss hot topics dominating the headline.
Start your day right with the UK's first Muslim morning show, Salaam Britain.
Where we dive into the trending stories that matter to you.
Share recipes from around the globe that will ignite your senses.
Celebrate guests that are making waves.
And showcase the diversity that makes our Ummah beautiful.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm keen to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well. Hold it.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps. With original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
Your opportunity to challenge the status quo. You call in and set the narrative. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Islam Channel. Islam Channel. Join us to discuss hot topics dominating the headline.
Start your day right with the UK's first Muslim morning show, Salaam Britain,
where we dive into the trending stories that matter to you.
Share recipes from around the globe that will ignite your senses.
Celebrate guests that are making waves.
And showcase the diversity that makes our ummah beautiful.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm going to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps. With original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
Your opportunity to challenge the status quo. You call in and set the narrative. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Islam Channel. Islam Channel. Join us to discuss hot topics dominating the headline.
Start your day right with the UK's first Muslim morning show, Salaam Britain,
where we dive into the trending stories that matter to you.
Share recipes from around the globe that will ignite your senses.
Celebrate guests that are making waves.
And showcase the diversity that makes our ummah beautiful.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm going to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps, with original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
Your opportunity to challenge the status quo. You call in and set the narrative. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Islam Channel. Islam Channel. Join us to discuss hot topics dominating the headline.
Start your day right with the UK's first Muslim morning show, Salaam Britain.
Where we dive into the trending stories that matter to you.
Share recipes from around the globe that will ignite your senses.
Celebrate guests that are making waves.
And showcase the diversity that makes our ummah beautiful.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm going to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps, with original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
Your opportunity to challenge the status quo. You call in and set the narrative. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Islam Channel. Islam Channel. Join us to discuss hot topics dominating the headline.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
5 Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm going to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps. With original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
Your opportunity to challenge the status quo. You call in and set the narrative. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Islam Channel. Islam Channel. Join us to discuss hot topics dominating the headline.
Start your day right with the UK's first Muslim morning show, Salaam Britain,
where we dive into the trending stories that matter to you.
Share recipes from around the globe.
Create the brands, test them in our own 3 locations, and once they're proven to do well, we offer them to franchise partners. I think the beauty of our model is low upfront costs, it's very affordable. You don't need to get into debt to take on one of our franchises. It's low risk because of the low upfront investment, and it's an agile business model. My name is Muhammad Rahman. I am one of the co-founders of Dished. My background is actually pharmacy, so I started my career as a pharmacist, and then in recent years I've entered the world of food. Good question. So previously I had my own business, and I built that up and sold it on, and I always felt I had one more business left in me. I never imagined that it would be food. And then about 3 years ago, a friend of mine who's very experienced in food invited me to join him. So we've been friends for about 10 years. We've both volunteered at our local masjid, and we sort of bounced ideas around of doing something together. So he invited me to join his food business and to scale it up. And what's interesting is actually skills are skills. So the skills that I built up in my pharma career and career as a pharmacist have been very transferable to this new world of food. So at Dished, we create virtual brands. So these are delivery-only brands that are sold on the platforms like Deliveroo, Uber Eats and Just Eat. So the model is we create the brands, test them in our own 3 locations, and once they're proven to do well, we offer them to franchise partners. So we partner with independent halal food operators, typically fast food businesses, and we're adding a business to a business. So we add our brands to their business, so they sell our brands in addition to their own brand, and therefore increasing the overall sales and profitability of their business. Yeah, we're in effect marketing and selling the brand, so we've invested a huge amount of time and energy into creating these brands, And what we're doing is helping food operators, because these operators don't have the ability to keep up with ever-changing food trends. Often they're used to just preparing curries or burgers or kebabs. So what we're doing is providing them with a model which allows them to carry on with their core business, but also keep up to date with new food trends as well. But yeah, we've got 50 partners now up and down the country, from Edinburgh down to Bournemouth on the south. Yep, so we've got 4 virtual brands. Our most popular brand is called Eureka, which is a Greek brand. Our next brand is our newest brand called Lebanon. That's a Lebanese brand. And then we've got a chicken brand called Wingology and a Korean brand called Bao and Bowls. And we will add anything between 1 and 4 brands into a partner's location, depending on what's appropriate. Is a chicken brand, and what we've got is lots of contemporary flavours, the kind of flavours that people are looking for nowadays. So for example, we've got honey soy ginger, Nashville, buffalo with truffle mayo, chimichurri, Jim bowls, rice bowls. So it's this kind of range of products. So it's not just standard chicken wings that everybody's doing. And what makes our products different is we're making our own sauces as well. So we have our own factory where we make our own sauces, so they're very unique. That's Wingology, and Eureka is our Greek brand. Now, typically the halal consumer has stayed away from Greek food. It's associated with pork. But yeah, all of our brands and all of our locations are fully halal. So the big sellers are gyros, or gyros is the correct way of saying it, which is a lovely pita wrap. So it's a pita bread, and then inside it you've got either steak or a chicken gyro or a chicken souvlaki, salad and fries. It's absolutely delicious. And then we've got our own special sauces that go in there as well. I'm a foodie in the sense that I absolutely love food. I love eating out. I wouldn't claim to be a foodie in that I can't cook to save my life, as my wife regularly reminds me. The key thing is we're in touch with food trends. So we have a team, and my business partner and our development chef are constantly monitoring what's popular within the UK market, but also other markets as well, especially the US market.
Start your day right with the UK's first Muslim morning show, Salaam Britain,
where we dive into the trending stories that matter to you.
Share recipes from around the globe that will ignite your senses.
Celebrate guests that are making waves.
And showcase the diversity that makes our ummah beautiful.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
5 Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm going to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as we hold it.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps. With original content for a Muslim audience, and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
Your opportunity to challenge the status quo. You call in and set the narrative. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Islam Channel. Islam Channel. Join us to discuss hot topics dominating the headline.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
Looking to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps. With original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around.
الرحمن الرحيم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم صدق الله العظيم أستغفر الله 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 العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه اللهم أنت ربي لا إله إلا أنت خلقتني وأنا عبدك وأنا على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت أبوء لك بنعمتك علي وأبوء بذنبي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت اللهم أنت ربي لا إله إلا أنت خلقتني وأنا عبدك وأنا على عهدك ووعدك بك ما استطعت أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت أبوء لك بنعمتك علي وأبوء بذنبي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت اللهم إني ظلمت نفسي ظلما كثيرا ولا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت فاغفر لي مغفرة من عندك وارحمني إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to our second segment of Salaam Britain. Now, as always, we always have some brilliant guests to talk to, and I'm very excited to talk to our next guest. And she is in an amazing field, actually, in creativity, which is something very, very well needed in our community. And this is something to do with narratives and also entertainment that serves the narrative in the community. And she is Melissa Harry. She is a filmmaker, screenwriter, a business owner and project management trainer, mashallah, whose work combines creativity with practical thinking. Her films have received recognition on the International Film Festival circuit for their authentic storytelling, mashallah, while through Lifestyle Combo Ltd, she mentors creative professionals and delivers training focused on well-being, stress management, and turning ideas into successful project. Joining us today to discuss the importance of creativity and developing a practical mindset, Melissa Harry. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you so much for having me. I actually feel like I should be cloned with the list that you've just provided there.
Well, you know, our platform here is to recognize the work that people in our community are doing. And when we talk about creativity, obviously it's a challenging and a difficult field. It's not easy to work in the field, obviously because of lots of reasons, including funding of that. We know that. But to have a woman in the industry already is great. And to talk to you about that today, to find out more, is actually interesting for our viewers also to know more. So first of all, Melissa, before talking about your work, tell me a bit about yourself. How did your journey start?
It started, well, if we start way back into the creative side of things, we're talking about 2009 is when I started going into screenwriting, and it was just an idea. I've been very fortunate enough that God has blessed me. You know, Allah's blessed me with being able to visualize and imagine lots of different stories, and this is something that has been with me since I was a child. So being able to say, actually, you know, I have this idea. I'm going to write something down. Let's just put pen to paper and then decide, well, you know, how it's going to develop. But unfortunately, you write, and then it just stays where it is, it gathers dust. And in actual fact, just to kind of skip quite many years later, the time of the pandemic pushed me to actually make my first film. And that was when I was like, actually, this is a challenge that I would like to see how it would work. So we started doing some virtual filming. I had a friend who was very good in terms of acting, and I said, hey, you know, let's do something. You know, I'm going to be the other actor, and you'll be the actor as well, and let's just see how it goes. And this is where the awards started coming in, because I thought, let's just submit to film festivals and see what happens. If you don't do it, you'll never know. And, you know, praise be to God, this is where I am, you know, alhamdulillah, this is where it's led me to today, and I haven't stopped creating since then.
MashaAllah. And your background is in filmmaking?
Yeah, filmmaking, I would say mainly more screenwriting, but it's pushed me to say, look, if I can't get the funding, then I'm going to do it myself. And this is, I would say, the determination that I've always had in me. it's very hard for a female in the industry to kind of get the financial backing. You have to know the well-known people, do a lot of connections. And at that time, I didn't have that. And it was like, well, look, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to put some money aside for this. And again, the doors opened. And it was like, okay, well, I'm going to put a call out to other, director of photographies and, photographers and to actors who wants to be part of it. I wanted to pay them as well. I didn't want to do this like to the point where it's like, oh, just, let's just do it for free. I was like, no, I want to do it ethically. So I thought, okay, I can't pay you much, but this is what we can do.
Right.
And we made it work. And, and again, it was more like, let's submit to festivals, let's get the word out there, do a few press interviews and see what happens. And then that journey started from there. And it just tied into what I was doing, which was with project management. So I was making sure I had structure there. I was already focused on business already. So it just made it a little bit more, I need to get creative. So let's do this. And let's have the other things on the other side as well.
I mean, as a spectacle, as a viewer, when you go watch a movie, a show, a short movie or a short film or a play, you like it and you feel that there is a lot of work behind it, from the actors, but also from the people behind the camera and behind the stage. And I believe sometimes short work might require lots of people and a big team that work together to make and to put together that wonderful creative work. So for yourself, it's screenwriting. I have lots of questions for you today to depict the world of creativity. So screenwriting, what does that mean? Just to tell the viewers, because we may have some young people who want to follow the path as well, as we need to change the narrative sometimes, to bring some ideas, to explain some ideas to people who are different, from different cultures, from different backgrounds. Sometimes when they see a movie, a film explaining some aspects of the religion or some aspects of the culture, they become familiarized, and therefore that will maybe contribute to lessen the Islamophobia and the racism of all form. So this is how the importance I see of your work is. But tell me first about screenwriting. What is it exactly and how do you get that skill?
Yeah. I do feel, well, first of all, screenwriting, there's two parts of it. You've got the script, which is focused on how the camera is shooting a particular scene. So, for example, it'd be like, the lens might zoom into this glass of water, for example. Maybe you would then have to describe that we've got some ripples. For any of those that might have watched Jurassic Park, you know what I'm talking about with regards to ripple effect. And so there might be a bit more, camera lens zooms into this, it's a camera shot, it's a close-up, and they'll talk about all of these different sorts of ways that the camera will shoot something. Along with that, it has a scene description, and then it will go into dialogue and how the actor or actress may feel. Now, with a screenplay, it's a little bit different because you're actually storytelling. You're not actually directing as a script. You are telling the story from the beginning, and then it may get converted into a script because this is where the director's mindset will come into it and it says, well, actually, I want it to be shot this way. I want it to look this way. So it's about knowing what the difference is first. So screenplay will be a slightly more descriptive.
Right.
You'll probably find with a screenplay, it may capture things that might not be as realistic to capture when you get to the day of shooting. And this is because of my own experience. Right. When I first wrote some of my scripts, it was more or less like, it could be trying to get a day with rain, for example, which isn't hard in London, but, again, if you've got days like this, it's pretty hard to shoot on a day if you need rain. So, for example, if you're really particular about a scene, you're going to write that in your screenplay. Maybe then someone else will look at it and say, well, let's look at this as a way that we could actually shoot this thing. And therefore, we turn it into a script, and then we get a little bit more realistic and practical as to how we can shoot and what we can do to make this. So it's about knowing the differences first. Your second question is, how does one become a screenwriter?
Yes.
Oh, it's a hard one. It really is. I do find that there is this point of, there's a certain gift of how you storytell. And if you're used to storytelling, like even if you enjoy a book, for example, you want to try and say, right, I'm not going to write the book again, but I do need to adapt it into something that you can see as you're reading. So you're not being overly descriptive, but you are making sure that you say, right, the sister was having a sad day, for example, and therefore you might just say, right, character name, be sad, lie on the floor, maybe just curl up on the sofa, something like that. But whereas in a novel, you're going to describe maybe what they were wearing, how they've, the creases on their face, etc., which you can't do. So when you are writing a screenplay, the way to do it is, what do I want to see? And I'm going to write what I want to see. Or actually, I should say type, because
Yeah,
we don't write anymore.
We're not right anymore.
We don't write anymore, which is sad, but so you're going to type it, right, how do I want it to be seen? What do I want it to do? So you have to kind of act as though you're filming it in your mind. And I would say it's something, if you're a storyteller, just put pen to paper, write what you want to see on screen. And that's how I actually visualised a lot of my scripts. Not only was it just saying, right, here's a story, here's an idea, but it's like, well, how do I want it to look? So I would go internally and think, if I was in front of the
what
the
do
big
I want
screen,
to see?
Yeah, what do I want to see? How do I want the room to be, and how do I want this person's reaction to be on the screen? And I focus on them first, then I focus on the backdrop after.
Right, and the secret that you got an award, what was that? Is that a distinction in your screenwriting or in the whole work you've done?
Both. Alhamdulillah, it was both.
Tell us the secret now.
I think it's the passion. I really do think it's the passion, it's the drive, the determination. Festivals, they'll see your hard work. They'll see how much you want it. And I think that's something that sometimes we lack. We just tend to feel like, oh, it's okay, I'll do it another day. But they'll see the intent behind it. And even in terms of your casting, my biggest passion is having a diverse cast. I think the thing is that we're in London. There's no reason. We're in 2026. There's no reason for an undiverse or a non-diverse kind of drama.
It's a place of diversity. You are in the right place if you are in London, if you are in the UK in general.
Definitely. So for me, it was more like, well, they can see the passion I've got for diversity. I'm having all walks of life in my scripts and my work, but also they could see the narrative with the script and the screenplay, and then they could see that come to fruition with the film as well. And it's about the meaningful, it's the message that you put behind that film. For me, things like, it could be a trivial matter, but there's always a good hidden meaning behind it. There's always something that comes from the heart that you need to project out. It's something that you want to change people's thinking, and that's what needs to come through. And I would say that's the secret. Have a hidden meaning behind it, and you'll be amazed at how many people catch on to that.
I think from my perspective as a viewer sometimes that I love the genius of watching a play or a movie or anything, and then I discover by myself the hidden message, and I really liked it that the screenwriter let me by myself discover what that meaning is, what the message is, what that true message he wanted to convey to me is, and then as deep as the message is I feel that I learned something. I didn't just sit down there for 2 hours or whatever, just to watch some actors acting, but actually I'm learning something, which is, I think, fascinating. And if you add like an ethical or a religious or something human or humane in the message, that adds and that amplifies the effect, I think, of the work, of the creative work. So what are the topics? And tell me a bit about some examples of the work you have done.
Yeah, so one of the ones that I did, which was just after lockdown, I mean, this was something I wrote a long time back. Someone had written a song, and he's a hip-hop artist based in the States, and he wrote this song, and I just listened to the words. And to be honest with you, I saw every single scene, and it was about gang crime. It was about, you know, things that were, you know, not knowing your father from such a young age, and, you know, all these situations that we know are real. They happen, and we can't shy away from it. Yeah. It talks about poverty as well, and, you know, the fact that, you know, someone was actually in a really good job, very well-to-do person, but because they lost their job, they were unrecognizable. They were homeless, they were left on the streets, and that was it. So one particular scene of that, it was a very multi-scene sort of short, so it was, yeah, a lot of storytelling behind it. But with this particular one, it was shown that you could go from high to low in a matter of months. You could be unrecognizable, but that one person that knew you when you were high, like when you were on your, you know, at the top of your game, could look down on you. And it was just highlighting the differences between rich and poor and how we should treat each other, how the poor man also helps someone who is a victim of gang crime. So there's all these interrelated stories that happened with this one short that I did just after lockdown. And for me, this was the biggest part of that storytelling that really hit, and it hit me, it hit my soul, because not only were the lyrics really true, but just the way that we filmed it, it was just like, this can happen, and you don't know who you're connected with.
True.
You're connected with the homeless person. You're connected with the rich guy that, you know, thinks, you know, this dunya is everything kind of thing. You might be connected with the person who is involved in a gang, unfortunately. Someone who might even be, going through teenage pregnancy or something like that. How do we help each other? How do we make sure that with that interconnection that we have, that we can build each other up or see things from a different perspective or understand the consequences by our actions as well. So that was the particular short that was, I would say, was very powerful. And yeah, for me, it's something that I hope, inshallah, one day we'll be able to make it into a full feature, because there were so many moving parts to it that it could be something bigger.
As you said, it happens in our society, but as an average normal person, we can't really articulate it. But when someone like you that can turn it into creative work and then present it to people, that will induce reflection.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my point. Reflect before we act.
Exactly. Well, amazing, Melissa. So tell me now about the other work you do with the community. I think you are training people, coaching them, I think.
Yeah, so training, coaching, mentoring, kind of all of it. So I basically am one half of Lifestyle Combo Limited. So the other half is my sister. So we're basically joint forces on this business. And basically what it is, it's about combining the personal and professional development together. It's something that we neglect. Sometimes we're so focused on career development that we neglect what we're doing personally. Or we get so engrossed in the personal, we neglect what we're doing professionally, or even in terms of our own career progression or how we want to kind of develop the mind. So this is where, my sister takes care of like the kind of the well-being side of it, more holistic sides of stress management, flow state, etc. Whereas I look after the professional development. So I'm a project and program management trainer and leadership consultant as well. So what we basically do is bring that together and say, right, okay, so maybe you do have a weakness in career. Okay, that's fine. I'll champion that side of it. Let's go through some coaching. Let's go through some mentoring. Where are you stuck? How can we get you from A to B or even A to Z eventually? But we start with small steps first. With that in mind, if they've got a personal situation that is affecting them, then great. We've got someone to facilitate the personal issues as well, or the personal challenges that we can obviously help. We kind of, again, it's the combo. It's the combination of both of them. And we are very passionate, and I was very passionate about this because it's just, we're trying to get rid of this neglect. because we do neglect ourselves.
Yeah, we do. We forget ourselves in the career, especially many women. We are very focused on the career, especially if we have some issues, family issues or anything. So, all right, I'm going to throw myself in the career and then forget everything, and that will become my therapy. This is the case of many women. And when you do that, sometimes you really forget your health, your mental health, your psyche health, and that can, on the long run, can affect you and impact you in a negative way. So when I find a platform providing these kind of services, I guess this is really good and really needed in the society. So the people who come to you, are they mainly women, men, mixed, teenagers, adults? What are they?
Mainly adults, but pleased to say it's both male and female. I mean, the thing is, we don't shut ourselves away from helping men because they need to understand the female perspective too.
Of course.
You know, it works both ways. So, so we don't shut off from like saying, right, we're specifically working with women only. Majority women do tend to come to us, but we do have some men that will say, actually, I do need a practical kind of mindset of how to manage this. Again, they tend to be a little bit more career focused, and then we start to kind of break it apart. You start to break things apart slightly, and then you work out, actually, there's some personal things we can start to look at.
So, Melissa, if we want to join you in the work you're doing, like how can we do that? How can you register or subscribe to your company then?
Yeah, I mean, the best thing to do is just email us directly. So get in touch with us, info@lifestylecombo.com, and just send us an email. What is it that you're looking, where's the areas of challenges that you're currently facing? We'll organise a discovery call with you, get to find out a little bit more with you. And it's not, I know sometimes with discovery calls, I always find that it can be quite cliche because you're thinking, oh, okay, they're looking for a sale. Actually, we're giving you advice with that 30 minutes that we provide. And then it's more or less like, look, touch base with us. You want to book with us, we'll work with you. We've got some programs, and again, programs that we can make is very cost effective, but also ones like with payment plans as well. So there's things that we can do. We're flexible with the customer, but ultimately it's for those who want to change though. And I feel like sometimes we might say we want to, but we might not be ready to do it. It's for those who are ready.
Amazing.
And I feel like I do have to make that point because we do get to this point in our lives where we're like, no, I don't know. And then
but you have to be ready.
You have to be ready.
Take the jump.
You're ready to make change, and that's where we're there to facilitate you, but to make sure it's done in the right way. We respect all faiths, but we are obviously making sure that it's not just your personal professional, but we want to make sure you're aligned and you're tuned in with God too.
Perfect.
Because that is ultimately why we're here.
Perfect. Thank you, Melissa, for that. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's been wonderful hearing about yourself and about your journey and learning how creativity and practical thinking and well-being can work hand in hand to help people achieve their goals while making a positive impact on those around them. And if you're really serious about changing and balancing your personal health and also your career, join Melissa, inshallah, and email them. What's the email again, Melissa?
info@lifestylecombo.com.
Here you have it. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next segment, inshallah. Stay tuned.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm going to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. on TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps, with original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
Start your day right with the UK's first Muslim morning show, Salaam Britain,
where we dive into the trending stories that matter to you.
Share recipes from around the globe that will ignite your senses.
Celebrate guests that are making waves.
And showcase the diversity that makes our ummah beautiful.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm going to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps, with original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to another segment of your show, Salaam Britain. After discussing with our brilliant guest, Melissa, about creativity, I really enjoyed that conversation indeed. Now we're going to move to something exciting as well, and it's about food. And this time we have different talented chefs who will be cooking different recipes and amazing recipes. So take a note. It's really worth it. Let's have a look.
Hello, today I'd like to share with you one of my favorite prawn recipes. It's a Portuguese recipe, something that we've eaten at home in my family for many years. For this recipe, what you'll need some prawns, which you can prepare in advance. You take out the bloodline and clean it and butterfly them. You can do this the day before, which is very handy, and keep them in the fridge in some paper towel, and that will help to absorb the moisture. You can also prepare the sauce the night before with some mayonnaise, some ketchup, crushed garlic, paprika, and some mustard. You can mix that, and the flavors seem to infuse better overnight, so that can also be made ready to go. Some fresh rocket to garnish on the side, melted butter, which you can do on the day, it takes a couple of seconds, and a little bit of chopped parsley just to garnish when it's come out the oven. I'm now going to show you how to put this dish together. We're going to take our prawns, and as I showed you, they've been butterflied and cleaned. We're going to put them into the dish, press them flat into the dish. We now take a little bit of the butter, and we want to put that onto the prawn to line it. Kind of gives it some nice richness as well, and butter's always great, it's great for everything. So after we've put the butter in, we're now going to put the sauce on top. I always like to just give it a good mix. You can really smell the flavors in that as they've been sitting overnight. And then we're just going to spoon it into the prawn, into the cavity. Make sure to be quite generous with it. On the top of the sauce, we're then going to put a little bit more butter, getting it ready for the oven. Mix it all up a little bit. Spoon it over, drizzle it over the prawn. And now our prawns are ready to go into an oven. We always put these on a grill. Heat side up always, so the heat's coming in from the top, and we want to watch it because it bubbles up, so we need to keep quite a close eye on it. It doesn't take long, probably 8 to 10 minutes maximum, but you do need to keep an eye on them. Now that we've got our delicious prawns out of the oven, I'm going to show you how to plate it up. I've chosen to use a lovely piece of, it's almost like a piece of bark really from a tree, but it's beautiful, it's rustic. Portuguese food is very rustic, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful at home, but makes you feel like you're somewhere else on holiday. So we're just going to put a bit of rocket for some colour and also to create some height. To finish it off, we're going to use some of our chopped parsley, sprinkle it onto the middle of the prawns, and your dish is ready.
Today we'll be making my version of a chocolate mousse. I come from a Somali household and we absolutely love eating tiramisu. So what I've done is I've infused those coffee and cream and chocolate flavors into my version of a chocolate mousse. It's absolutely delicious and it's very easy to make. Here I've got 300 mils of cold whipping cream, 150 grams of semi-sweet chocolate, 3 tablespoons of coffee, and some chopped hazelnuts for topping. Our first step is to start whipping the cream. This should take about 5 minutes. What we want is to create a thickness, but we don't want soft peaks to form. So the cream is now thick, but we haven't created soft peaks, which is exactly what we're looking for. And the next step is to create a bain-marie, which is essentially a saucepan with hot water with a bowl over the top. And what we're going to do is melt our chocolate. Our next step is to mix our cream into our chocolate, which will help loosen it up. Our final step is to mix all the ingredients together. We want to take the chocolate and mix into the cream spoonful by spoonful. And now in goes the coffee. And now we can serve. To get rid of any air bubbles and to make it as smooth as possible, all you have to do is tap it against the table. And now we top it with some roasted chopped hazelnuts. And some chocolate shavings. And then we set it in the fridge for a minimum of 2 hours. Now that it's set, you're ready to enjoy this delicious light dessert. Goodbye.
Hello, today I'm going to show you our traditional Uyghur food, lagman, which is a hand-pulled noodle and a fully halal meat and some vegetables. It's so easy to cook and so delicious. Let's enjoy it together. For the recipe today, I'm going to use fresh, fully halal lamb meat and some chopped onion, mushroom black fungus, sliced radish and some peppers and some fresh spinach and some fresh chopped tomato, some ginger, salt, tomato paste, some cayenne pepper, soy sauce, vinegar and garlic and some white pepper. And this one fresh hand-pulled noodle. Now I'm going to put oil and make sure pan is quite hot. And now we have first put fresh onion. Next we have to put meat. Now we have to put salt. White pepper. Cayenne pepper. Tomato paste. And the garlic. And some the soy sauce. And now we have put some black fungus. And peppers. And now we have to put fresh tomato, chopped tomato. And the last one is spinach. And the last one, vinegar, little bit vinegar. So finally, we have to put little bit water. I think it's ready now. So this one here, and now I'm going to pull out this noodle. We have to cook 1-2 minutes. And now noodle is ready, and we have to take out from the hot water and put in the cold water. Stir the water very quickly, otherwise the noodle is very soft. Now the noodle is ready to plating, and we serve the sauce on the top. This is our final dish and our traditional Uyghur lagman. It is easy to cook and it's so delicious.
Today I am going to be showing you a favorite Malaysian recipe called ayam goreng balado. Translated in English, chicken fry in chilies, I think. So let's check out the ingredients. For this particular dish, I am using 1 baby chicken, marinated in turmeric powder. Then I'm also using 3 whole onions, big, fat, juicy onions. And then you blend them together. And then for the chilies, I'm using 10 fresh chilies as well as 5 dried chilies, just to make it like really, really spicy and bring out the chili flavor. You would also need half of the big onion so that we can slice the onions up later, including 2 tomatoes and 1 lime. I'll tell you how to use this afterwards. I'm also going to be using some lime leaves, some brown sugar, salt, and my favorite secret weapon in most of my dishes, sweet soy sauce. Okay, so the first thing you need to do for this dish is to fry the chicken. So currently I'm heating up the oil. Once the oil is at the right temperature, we're going to fry the chicken. I'm going to slice half an onion for this dish. So try and slice the onion as thinly as possible. Now we're going to slice 2 tomatoes. Right. Now that we've sliced the onion and the tomatoes, let's start making the sauce for the dish. So let's fry the chicken, okay? So let's grab our bowl. So whilst waiting for this to be fried to the color and finish that we want, I'm going to start preparing to make the sauce, the chili sauce for the dish. So we'll start with pouring some oil. So the first thing I'm going to do is to fry the chilies. Take your time with it. Okay, I think it's time to let our onion friends join our chili friends in the wok. So it's time to take our chicken out of the oil, of the frying oil. So nice and golden, right? All right, our chicken's ready, guys. And now I'm gonna add the sweet soy sauce. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just to make the flavor more interesting, as well as sliced onions. And the sugar. So the final thing I'm going to do is to slice some lime leaves and also at the same time our chopped tomatoes. Oh, just absorb the smell. So good. Right. Finally, what we're going to do is to add all the chicken, the fried chicken pieces into the wok. And you mix everything together. Oh my gosh, look at this dish. How can you resist, right? Because we're at the end of the road for the dish. It's time to eat. And here's the dish. This is my take on ayam goreng balado, which you can share with your friends and family. And in Malay, we say jom makan, which means let's eat.
Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day today. So we're going to be making some Moroccan lamb kebabs, and these are a brilliant dish to make. They're super simple, not too many ingredients, but once you've got everything, it doesn't take too much time, and they're great to put on the barbecue in the summer, even in the winter to warm your bellies. A great dish all year round. All right guys, we've got a lot of different types of ingredients here, which is going to make it a really interesting flavor. We're going to start with some chopped up red onions, some harissa. Now this, it's a Moroccan chili, Moroccan spice paste, which is really delicious. You can have it even as a dip sometimes, but I'm going to be putting this in the lamb to make it have some really powerful punch to it. Obviously, got to have salt, red pepper over here, paprika to give it a little smoky flavor. Now, this is a little addition of mine, cinnamon. Of course, got to have a bit of garlic, and cumin gives it a bit of a punch. And you don't have to do this. I'm also putting a little bit of smoked chilies in there as well. And obviously we've got the pepper and the parsley. All right, so we've got the Parmesan cheese here. This is the last ingredient. That's my special ingredient. So all of these lovely ingredients are going to be going into our 500 grams of lamb mince. All right, guys, so get a big mixing bowl. And first things first, just pop your mince, whatever it is, in there. And you just want to break it up a little bit. And once you've kind of broken it down so it really is minced up, we can start putting in our spices. Now we're going to start with the basics. We're going to put in a teaspoon of salt. We're going to put in a teaspoon of pepper. Next we'll put some paprika in. Once again, just a teaspoon. Now cinnamon we're going to put 2 teaspoons, just so it really does get that flavor in. Now we're going to put all the garlic in. Now this is about 4 or 3 small cloves chopped up. Going to get 1 teaspoon of cumin in. Just really half a teaspoon of chili flakes, because we do already have the harissa, so we don't want it to be too spicy. All right, so we want to put 2 tablespoons of our harissa in here. I would put 3 teaspoons of Parmesan cheese, and that's going to really bind it together as well. Last but not least are red onions and our parsley. Just want to mix that up all together so it all becomes one. Yeah, I think I'm going to get in with my hands. It's going to be a lot easier just to kind of, after you kind of mixed it together, you really do just want to get in with your hands and just squidge it all up until it becomes almost like a dough. Now we are ready to make our kebabs. All right guys, so we've got our meat all ready and all packed up. So we're just going to basically take this. First of all, we're just going to get a little bit of flour, dust it on our surface, and just grab a little bit each time and roll it into a kebab. Now, you can make them really long if you want to, but I probably prefer to make them a little bit smaller, so around that kind of size. And what we're going to do is going to dip it in the oil so it's fully coated and put it on our plate ready to cook in a minute. All right guys, so we're just going to cook these now for about 1 to 2 minutes on either side, depending on how you like them. Personally, I prefer to have them a little bit more rare, kind of get more of the flavour there, but if you want to have it well done, as I know most of you probably do, probably 2 to 3 minutes on each side is best. So we can pretty much just put these in there, hear it sizzling, and cook these all through. And just make sure there's a nice bit of space in between them all so they've got space to cook. Alright guys, as simple as that. Literally a couple of minutes and they are ready. Friends, I must say these are looking absolutely delicious. Looking forward to tucking into these. I can see all the crew is looking pretty hungry as well. But they are not going to be getting any of this. This is all for me. And there you have it, friends. A lovely plate of Moroccan-style lamb kebabs. Enjoyable for all the family, any time of the day.
And that brings us to the end of today's program. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed today's headlines with Ibrahim, our special community not our special community, our special guest, Melissa, and the cooking segment with all of the amazing recipes out there. I hope you took notes as well. And inshallah, we'll see you in another episode of the show. Salaam Britain. If you have any suggestions or you would like to see some of our conversations with our guests, please go to the YouTube because we publish so many content there. Make sure to share, like, subscribe to our different social media platforms, including the YouTube there. And also, if you have any suggestions, as I said, make sure to email sb@islamchannel.tv. From all of us here at Islam Channel and at Salaam Britain, thank you for your company. Take care of yourselves and those around you. And inshallah, we'll see you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.